sound of a futuristic classroom, a gentle hum, followed by a series of soft clicks and chirps. Dr. Zaytoun adjusted her sensory appendages, dimming the lights of the vast lecture hall. Her xenobiology class at the Galactic Medical Institute had spent the semester studying 17 different species, but today's subject made even her experienced staff uneasy. "Students," she announced, her translator converting her clicks into standard galactic. "Today we examine the human pain threshold. I must warn you this data is disturbing." The assembled students, from 43 different species, leaned forward, intrigued. They dissected the biochemistry of crystalline Vex tar and marveled at the regenerative abilities of the Moltheri. What could be so disturbing about one more species? Dr. Zaytoun activated the holographic display. Humans register pain through nociceptors, similar to 62% of known sentient species. However, what makes them unique is not how they feel pain. It's what they do despite it. The first video flickered to life. It showed a human female, designated Julianne Kopke, falling through Earth's atmosphere after her aircraft exploded at 10,000 meters. The students watched in horror as she plummeted through the jungle canopy, bones shattering on impact. "She survived," Dr. Zaytoun said quietly. With a broken collarbone, ruptured ligaments, one eye swollen shut, and a severe concussion, she walked through the Amazon rainforest for 11 days until she found help. A Threxian student raised a trembling tentacle. "Walked? With those injuries? That's impossible. The pain alone would cause system shutdown." "For us, yes," the professor agreed. "For them, it's called Tuesday." The next case file materialized. Hugh Glass. Gasps filled the hall as they watched a historical recreation of a grizzly bear mauling him, ripping open his throat and back, breaking his leg. The medical AI calculated a 99.7% fatality probability. "He crawled 300 kilometers to the nearest settlement," Dr. Zaytoun continued, "without medical supplies, setting his own broken leg, allowing maggots to eat his infected wounds to prevent gangrene. It took him 6 weeks. A student in the back vomited, or the Quillian equivalent. Perhaps, a skeptical Zerothian suggested, these are outliers? Statistical anomalies?" Dr. Zaytoun's expression held a grim amusement. "I wish. Let me show you their recreational activities." The screen split into multiple feeds. Humans running until their feet bled in events called ultramarathons. Humans climbing vertical ice walls with their bare hands. Humans intentionally hitting each other in the head repeatedly for sport. Humans scaling 1,000-meter cliffs with no safety equipment. This one, she highlighted a video, is called childbirth. The human female pelvis is barely adequate for their offspring's cranial size. The process typically lasts 8 to 18 hours of what they clinically categorize as level 10 pain, the maximum on their scale. She paused. "They often do this multiple times, voluntarily." The Quillian student fainted. "But surely," protested another, "their military training accounts for this? Enhanced soldiers, perhaps?" "No enhancements," Dr. Zaytoun replied. "Standard humans. Let me show you their special forces selection process." The footage showed hell-weak humans running on broken bones, hypothermic, sleep-deprived for 5 days straight, carrying heavy loads through freezing ocean water. Then came footage of them learning to withstand interrogation. Their dropout rate, the professor noted, is about 75%, which means 25% succeed. "That's a species trait?" She pulled up medical records. "During the First Contact War, our interrogation methods, effective on every known species, failed completely. We assumed they had pain-blocking tech. They didn't. They simply endured." One captive, with 14 broken bones and severe internal bleeding, smiled at his interrogator and said, "I can do this all day." "Why?" A student whispered. Dr. Zaytoun brought up Earth's geological history. Earth is a Class 12 death world. Everything there is trying to kill everything else. gravity 20% higher than standard. Extreme temperature fluctuations they call seasons, predators, diseases, natural disasters. Humans evolved without venom, claws, or armor. She let that sink in. They survived anyway. Do you know how? They didn't quit. Ever. When a human's body screams stop, their brain says continue. Their anterior cingulate cortex and prefrontal cortex can essentially override their own pain signals through pure determination. The hall was silent. There's a human saying, Dr. Zaytoun continued, pain is temporary, pride is forever. They have dozens of such phrases. They have an entire philosophy around suffering being beneficial. She closed the presentation. In conclusion, if you ever encounter a human in a medical emergency, remember this. If they tell you they're fine, they are at what we consider critical injury levels. If they admit something hurts, it would have killed most of us. And if they're screaming evacuate the area, because whatever caused that level of pain in a human is apocalyptic. The students filed out silently. One lingered. Professor, are humans dangerous? Dr. Zaytoun considered this. Dangerous? Yes, but they're also the reason we survived the Zilthar invasion. When every other species retreated from casualties, humans looked at 70% losses and said acceptable. They're the most terrifying species in the galaxy. She paused, her translator catching her next words perfectly. And thank the stars they're on our side.